1, 2, 3, 4.
Exclusive to 98.6 Hillz FM. A brand new comedy sketch show. Operation Bedlam. Starts Tuesday, 2nd of June from 8 p.m. Get silly with Hillz FM.
This is 98.6 Hillz FM.
Well, welcome back. What a beautiful morning it is this morning. The sun is shining and you've been tuned in to me this morning on Hillz 98.6 FM with the Well Good tunes. You know Wednesdays are all about the Well Good tunes. And of course, after 11 o'clock, it's all about my wonderful guests. And today is no different. And if you were tuned in and you heard the adverts there, you'd notice we've got a new advert for Operation Bedlam. So I'd like to introduce the guys from Operation Bedlam that are in the studio with me. So, good morning, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Not too bad, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. It's so nice to have you in the studio. A couple of you are no kind of stranger here at Hillz. Like to welcome back Jim Peakman and Carson.
Hello!
That's Carson.
Hello, hi.
That's Jim.
I'll come in again, take 2. Hi.
He's got more hair than he started with.
And what about the other two? Are you going to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Mark.
And my name's Andrew, and I've got less hair than I started.
Yes, he has.
Is there a reason for that?
Yin and yang.
Him.
Listen. Baldy.
Well, I think we ought to tell the listeners. I mean, if they've heard the advert, they obviously know that we've got a new comedy play starting next Tuesday. Yeah! I know, because when I put it on our Facebook, I said sketch show, and I apologise, guys, because it's not. It's a play. Now, can you tell me about some of the characters in this play? Who's the main character?
Well, the main character is called Herbert Charlie, and he's a bit like, how do you describe him? A bit like a Frank Spencer meets me, actually.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of things that happen to Herbert Charlie sort of happen to me in real life. We have Mrs. Cough-a-Lot. Which is his neighbour, landlady. We also have the Baron von Whittaker, which is his arch enemy.
Hello there.
And his trusty companion, Trusty.
Hello.
We have a Master of Ceremonies.
Hello, ladies and jelly spoons.
And a lot more of other wonderful characters. Who have I missed? I missed somebody, haven't I?
My name's Nigel.
Nigel, his best friend.
Yeah.
So, could we meet this Herbert Charlie then?
Hello. Thank you for having me on the show today.
I think that's, that gives the listeners some idea of the characters they're going to be able to listen to on Tuesday. Now, where did the idea come from for doing this play?
The idea for Herbert Charlie was from stories that my dad used to say when I was a baby to get me to go to sleep. He used to do these stories called Herbert Charlie stories off the top of his head. And I sort of remembered that. So when it was agreed that we'll do a radio show for Hillz, it was just like, well, we'll do a radio play version of that and write it as a sort of comedy story thing. So all the episodes sort of like link up, kind of, in a weird and wonderful way.
Yeah.
And so that's where the idea come from, my childhood, really.
He's got a very good memory.
Yeah.
Well, I've obviously I've been privy to hearing an episode or two, and I've absolutely loved it, and I'm really excited about it because obviously this is a first for Hillz, and exclusive.
And a last.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. So it's really good to have you in the studio and kind of promote, the show for next Tuesday. Now, what time is it on, Jim?
It's on at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays, starting the 2nd of June.
Next week.
I'm finishing on the 3rd of June.
What?
That's when Ofcom hear it. When Ofcom hear it. Yeah, so it starts next week, Tuesday, 2nd of June at 8 p.m.
For 6 weeks.
For 6 weeks, yeah, 6 episodes.
Now, the wonderful thing about it is that it's kind of, no one could really take offence to this. It's very innocent, isn't it? Humour.
Very innocent humour.
Cut very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see, maybe it wasn't so innocent
Some of the
then.
outtakes were a bit, yeah.
Like
But no,
Andrew's
it's
hair.
very, very,
Hey.
it's very family friendly. It's, it's like the kind of stuff that we used to watch with our granddads, really, isn't it? Used
Yeah.
to listen to with our granddads.
It sort of reminds me of Mr. Magoo, kind of stupidity.
Yeah, it's that kind
It's
of.
silly, it's very
It's
silly.
that kind of like a slapstick sort of thing, but verbal usage.
Yes, verbal slapstick, that's what it is.
Like Andrew's head.
Like Andrew's head.
There you go.
Well, for any listeners tuned in at the moment, I dare say you can tell what Tuesday evening is going to be like by listening to this crowd I've got in the studio. But I'm so excited about it because, we've been talking about this for a little while now, haven't we? And it's all finally come into play, isn't it?
It has, yes. It's really nice to be on the air with you, Kate.
We love you, Kate.
Well, do you know what? I think I'm going to play a tune and then we'll come back with some more conversation after this. Well, I just want to thank the person that texted in the studio to say they're loving the tunes this morning, but that's what Wednesday morning is all about. Now, guys, I kind of think you lot can't be serious, Is that true?
Never. We could be serious.
No, we can't, that's a lie.
So, you must have had a lot of fun when you was putting this together. I mean,
Objection!
how hard was it to kind of put it together when you must have been falling about laughing?
You know what? We've kept quite a bit of us enjoying ourselves in the show. So if you listen to the show, you'll get a feel of what the fun that we were having.
Yeah, even though it is edited just because of we edit it just because of like sometimes if we muck up
Posterity.
a little swear word might go into it, mostly from Castle. And
Are you the artist?
yes, and
How dare you?
but the sort of funny outtakes are actually in the show. We don't really edit it that much. It's just
Which I suppose adds
Yeah.
to it all, doesn't
it's
it?
very, it's
really?
very
Yeah, I
raw
think the
and
fun
got that.
definitely shines through, really, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Say that again, sorry.
I can't reach the mic. No, I think the fun definitely shines through, like in the actual take of it.
Yeah.
he moved the mic for that.
That was good.
Yeah, it's raw and it's also got a very live feel to it. I think because of the sort of equipment that we're using and the room that we're recording in, it definitely feels like we're live on the Belgrade stage.
Yeah,
or
it
something like
sounds.
that. And there's a few like sound effects added in there to make it feel like a live show.
It feels like we're in your living room or your car
Well, you normally are.
or in your bed.
So, guys, what would you say to the listeners to try and make them tune in and listen on Tuesday? I mean, I can't wait myself. I'm really excited about it.
I know. We'll say, please listen.
I
It's a
would,
charity thing. Please listen.
I would say there's nothing else to do on a Tuesday night, really. Really?
No.
No,
The
there's
only
nothing
thing on
else.
TV is Holby City.
Yeah,
No one
Holby
wants to
City.
watch
Nobody
that,
wants to
really.
watch Holby
Will
City.
you wanna listen to Holby City or listen to us put you in Holby City?
But yeah, it's a bit of fun, and if you just want something to unwind after a long day at work or a long day at home with the kids or whatever, then tune in to us and just to escape reality for a little bit.
Escapism and voyeurism.
It's also kind of like, I don't know, if you're sort of the older generation, it might actually sort of hark back to the old days where radio plays and comedy on radio plays and stuff like that were very, very popular, like the 50s and 60s kind of stuff. If you like that kind of stuff, then you might really enjoy this as well.
On the wireless.
On
That's
the
what
old
these
wireless,
call
Well,
it.
a lot of them started off on radio anyway, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then
That's what Alan
singing on-
Partridge was
yeah.
a radio show, the Day to Day, the Goons, like started off Spike Milligan, Peter Sellers and all that kind of stuff. So, we just having a laugh and it's kind of join us really, to come and have fun with us for half an hour.
So is this what the aim is then? You're going to end up on the TV?
Oh God, I haven't got a face for TV. It's like, but yeah, I mean, the aim is just to have fun really, isn't it, and see what happens.
I'd like to do it live one day.
Yeah.
What, at the Belgrade?
Anywhere.
Like in theatre? Could we do it outside in the park?
You could do.
in the summertime.
Do it live on stage. Obviously, like we need to rehearse it a little bit more.
What, you mean you don't rehearse it before?
We don't actually, no. We just turn up and record.
Well, they get the scripts like probably about a day before we actually record, and obviously they work during the day anyway, so they don't really have much of a chance to read it. So the first time that they read it is the first go through on the recording, and so it's kind of fresh for those guys, so they can
Do you think that's better somehow?
It is for me. It is because if I read the script, the jokes wouldn't be as funny as if there was kind of properly the first time you hear them out loud, and we do often kind of pretty much wet ourselves laughing, especially with the voices, because no one knows what the voices are going to be. So it's kind of like
I
when
do
we call
like, what's her name, Mrs. Coughlin?
Yeah, that I nearly had problems. I had stars in my eyes after doing that the first time.
Wait till you get to episode 3, and Sergeant Sponge. We couldn't on when was it? Monday.
On Monday,
On Monday,
Who
we couldn't
is
stop.
Sergeant Sponge?
Is Sergeant Sponge here?
Sergeant Sponge is from the CID, and he likes fishing jokes, and he has a lot of saliva in his mouth, so when he speaks, he kind of sprays it all over everybody. So yeah,
cocktail?
my favourite cocktail is Slinky Sadie single in a screwball glass with a glacier cherry on the top, salt on the rim. Whilst listening to Swaddy Waddy.
Well, very nice to meet Sergeant Sponge, I must
It's
say.
nice to meet you too. Thanks for inviting me on the show.
Now, Jim, you're the writer, aren't you?
I am.
Have you written it completely on your own? Your collaborate? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what has that been like for you? Have you found it, sort of easy because you've based it on the stories that your dad told you?
It's like a therapy session.
Does your dad know that?
It's like a diary for Jim, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like No, it's easy. If it comes in my head, it goes on the paper. I don't really think about it too much. Honestly, I don't. If it comes in my head, it goes on there.
No.
Why are they laughing?
Well, you'll have to hear the show and find out. I don't think about it too much. It's literally just I write it as we kind of perform it, very fast paced. I'll probably have about a day or two to get a 25-minute script done for Monday, so it has to be quick.
Yeah, so we record on a Monday. Jim then kind of spends a week editing it. We usually get it like the Wednesday or the Thursday, and then Jim has Friday, Saturday, Sunday to write a new script. Yeah. And then we get sent it. It's like, oh no, I read the last one in the cinema. What's what Jim had? A film. A film.
I wonder if I could ask you before you go.
You kicking us out already?
Well, I do have another guest in, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
Jim's
You
crying.
look sorely disappointed
Jim's
now, Jim.
crying.
But I'd love.
Nobody kicks out Baron von Whittaker.
I was just going to say I'd love the listeners to hear some of the characters. So if you wouldn't mind.
No, you can go first.
So yeah, my name's Nigel, and I live in my car. I live in the garage by what's his name? Herbert's house. He's my best friend, my only friend, really. I've got a girlfriend, and she's all right sometimes. And Mrs. Cofferlot's my landlady too. She lets me stay in the garage in my car. She won't let me turn the engine on though, because she says I might not wake up in the mornings. So I and then she comes along and she goes. Give me a rent, you little monkey. And then I say to her, I can't do this, Mrs. Cofferlot. I can't do two voices at once. And then Herbert comes along and he takes me out for a glass of orange squash. And we look at ladies in the pubs, don't we, Herbert?
Yes, we do, Nigel. Somebody's trying to break into the studio, Nigel.
But yeah, Herbert goes on lots of adventures. Don't you, Herbert?
I do, and I was arrested for stealing the crown jewels, Nigel, and it wasn't me. It was that awful Baron von Whittaker, wasn't it, Nigel?
It was not me.
It was.
Well, it actually was, yes. Because I am the most evil supervillain the world has ever known, yeah? And with my trusty companion, Trusty,
Hello.
he's in the back here.
Hello.
Trusty, nobody speaks over Baron von Whittaker.
Sorry, master.
We get all of the things, and we bribe the Prime Minister with the crown jewels. And that's what we do, and I'm going to not use any more jokes from the film. From the film version.
Wait.
Oh. Well, guys, thank you.
Thank you.
So much. And all I can say to the listeners, really, you must tune in next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, for the first episode with Operation Bedlam and Herbert Charlie.
Yeah, for up-to-date information, you can find us on Facebook /Operation Bedlam, on Twitter, Operation Bedlam, and probably wander around the streets. You can probably hear Carson shouting around and stuff as well.
Hello!
There he is, yeah. So
I am a cake.
And you'll plug it as well, won't you?
Yeah, I might.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, yeah.
There we go. Then.
But yeah, so yeah.
Is it a 3-pin plug?
By the way, then what were them wraps called that we had? Are they £3?
No,
How much were they?
£1.50.
Oh, nice one.
Right. Okay. Right.
And it's
Where
a
are they?
falafel wrap.
Falafel
Falafel
wrap.
wrap.
Yeah,
Oh, I do
just a little plug there for the Kurdish shop across the road.
We'll be over in 5 minutes. So yeah, free.
We're going to get wrapped.
Well, thanks,
That's
guys.
a wrap.
Well, while they're leaving the studio very
Quietly.
noisily, I'm going to play this track.
Quietly,